Hello, you're here for one more lesson of this 4MCAD video course, and the topic for today will be about 2D solids and boundary related functions. So I've created a couple of rectangles, circles to show you later the functions for the wipeouts and for the boundary, but to start I would like to talk to you about 2D solids. So if we go under the draw menu, then surfaces, and inside you have the 2D solid. So now with the 2D solid we can create either these figures, a rectangle, a square, or triangle, or just click points with a certain order and you are able to draw this kind of figure. Okay. If we go there again, let's try, for example, the square. So the major letter S, enter, and now you see I'm doing a square, and it was the same for the rectangle or for the triangle. Okay, the characteristic these two solids have is the filling of the color. In this particular case it is white, but I could define another color before the creation is done or after changing the properties. So this is one of the commands. Then still in this lesson I'd like to talk to you about one other function that is called the wipeout. And the wipeout, it is something that we can draw also. If I open again the draw menu, you see this function wipeout. And this function, it's in fact it's entity. We are creating something, and these entities can help you to hide areas of your drawing. They display the current background, so it's like you think you are making part of your drawing invisible, but in fact you are creating an entity that is covering what you have behind. But this characteristic is to have the same color than the background, so it seems that you are hiding something. In fact, you can do a lot of things with this wipeout. So you can copy these entities, mirror or array them, erase or rotate. So you are able to do a lot of things with these entities. So wipeout, then you create an area. You have a lot of possibilities to do this also. So and then enter, and you see that you are hiding what is behind. So you have this boundary that in this particular case is turned on, but if you go there again, you can say frames, and you can say on or off. In this case is on. So if you say off, now the wipeout is there, but you do not see the boundaries of the wipeout. But for example, if you do, I'm calling a erase command, if you try to get him, so you can grab the wipeout. Okay, it's not shown as selection because it does not have a border, but you can select it and copy to another place or do a lot of things that you are able to do under the modify command. I'll go behind. Okay, so these are the wipeouts. So they have this kind of characteristics, and a little similar because they deal also with boundaries. We have two other functions called boundaries and edges. The boundaries are they have other possibilities, but basically the boundary allows us to select one area that we can use in several ways. So it's very easy. And the basic is to say what is the type of boundary that I want to create. So I can create a polyline or a region. Later in this training course we will see the difference about these two things. Let us say for now a polyline. Let us select one area. I forgot to change the color so that we can see about the final result. So again, boundary, just select one area, and when you select one internal point, it will look around and see what is around it. So for example here, just say enter, and you see in red it created on top of the entities, but you see I can choose the circle, but I can choose here this entity. These are different things, and that is why I've created previously a different color, so that we were able to see the result. So now with this boundary I can do a lot of things. They are not the purpose of this lesson, but please retain the idea that we can make a lot of things with this boundary. Similar to this, we have another function that is called the hatch, and the hatch basically allows us to apply a pattern or a gradient. So the functions are the same, the result is different because here we can apply one color or this kind of patterns, okay, with solid colors, but the way we can choose this is the same. So let us only see one of the things. So we start this choosing one pattern, okay. Then we can choose an angle for the pattern, so we can change the pattern and can change the scale of the pattern. So this has to do with the density. We can specify also the origin, because in certain areas it is important to give the proper origin to start the pattern we are choosing. Then we can do this more or less automatic, which is pick a point, or less automatic select entities. So let us do this pick a point. So basically we pick one point. You see this pattern, it is very dense, and for example I can apply higher patterns, so the scale probably too high. So now let us say again, so less dense. Let's say for example 8. We'll change it in the end. Then we can, for example, in the case we have inside boundaries, we can remove these boundaries. For example, we can do this like let's say the cancel. Let us call again, so pick a point. For example here you see it chooses this boundary, but if I go there and say let us remove this boundary here, then preview, okay, not correct. So pick a point, let's say here, okay, now it is good. We can turn this associative, and associative it will update this pattern if I change the entities. Let us keep this associative. We can create separate hatches or not for specific areas, and we can choose this draw order if we have things on top of the other. So I will keep this with the basic option, which is send this behind boundary. And then we have also these possibilities regarding the detection of islands or internal contours, okay. And similar to what we've seen on the boundary options. We can retain the boundaries again as a polyline or a region, because in this particular case that I'm using now, I'm just finding the boundaries, but I'm not creating anything, okay? But I can create, besides the pattern, I can create a boundary. And I have options also for the viewports, and in this particular case it's not important. So let us say associative and create, I will not use this, so do the OK. So I've created a pattern, so it is very thin, and now I can change. It was not good because I cross over. Let's do it again. Okay. Sometimes there's some issues because this recognition of the boundaries, it's a complex. Let's try below. Okay, not so good, but because it has a lot of configurations here, so sometimes has issues. Anyway, the important is to understand that the associative allows us to make some choice over these boundaries, and this is very dense, so it should be a little less dense. As a final note, I would like to leave you that these patterns take a lot of memory, and so every user, to improve the performance of your machine, should do this pattern as one of the last steps when you are drawing. So otherwise your computer will be struggling always with the memory and with the updates, so it's not so easy to work with. Let's make a new try. Okay, no issue about it. So I hope these examples for these commands were clear enough. Any questions, please contact us and give us something, give us some feedback about these topics.